I do want to move ahead to this because you were obviously a college athlete at Temple University, playing for the late great John Chaney. The news came out now where your fellow college athletes can be allowed to make money, which it took them long enough to allow that. So when that news came out today, or yesterday rather, what did you make of it?
I have a lot of questions. I'm
okay.
all for it, but now are they going to cap it at a certain amount, or are they going to say when can you make money? What's the fine print? That's what I want to see. I know they said you can make money, but I forgot who it was. I think it's Alan B. Train, who went to Roman Catholic High School. They went to Townsend State, and I think he transferred to Rhode Island. And he put Alan B. Train put on his Twitter. He put that rule that came out. Then he said, "I'm open for collabs. DM me, let's talk." And I thought that was smart on his part, because if I was a student athlete, my social media, I would be doing the same thing. So it's got to be a fine print, because if not, the top guys maybe making $1 million a year from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour.
Mm-hmm.
Zion, imagine Zion. Zion at least made $1 million a year. Duke now. Let's play the other side. First of all, let me repeat. I am for the pay the athletes, 100%. So let's look at the other side. Let's go back to Zion. Let's go back to a guy who might have stayed 2 years that was really good. If I'm making $1 million a year in college, am I going to class? So I may be good for the first half of the season. Am I going to be eligible the second half of the season? Or did my money outweigh my willingness to work to maintain proper grades to be eligible to play? So there's a lot of fine print that I need to read, because I'm really curious about it.
See, okay, let me ask you this then, because this is what my take on it is, that it could actually help the student athlete in terms of, you're not going to have anybody stay in college for 4 years. Like, I just don't see that ever happening again.
Exactly.
But it might, if a kid says to themselves, I can still make money while being in college off my name, maybe I'll stay another year because mom really wants me to at least get my associate's degree, something like that. Do you think that would help a kid stay in school for maybe a year longer?
So let me tell you like this. I think money talks. Money talks. So you think about some of these teams in these Power 5 conferences. Let's just go down to the biggest state in the country, University of Texas. They get a top 5 guy every year. Can you imagine the boosters? Can you imagine the oil tycoons that's there wouldn't want to say they wouldn't want to get this guy $1 million a year?
Sure.
He's saying, hold on now, if I get $1 million a year, I get to get my degree. So I'm in college in 4 years. I made $4 million. I got paid $4 million a year. $4 million in 4 years to get my degree. That's not a bad thing, Mom. I might want to stay for all 4 years. But then let's also look at it like this. I get $1 million a year. Like, say if my stock fell and I'm looked at to be a late first round or second round pick, I don't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got alumni who own major corporations saying, hey, Mark Jackson was a second round pick. I could pay him his league minimum. That would be $500,000 a year. Let me give him $600,000 a year to stay and to work to advertise for my company, do a commercial for my company. I may stay in 4 years. What would that do to my school? So there's a lot of pros with this.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. So it may be something to think about. But what about? But with that being said, what about? It's a lot of back and forth. You could say a little pros, a lot of cons. What can happen if we read the fine print? I just want to know, because now you got guys get transferred now with no sitting out, right?
Sure.
So what about if I go to say, I'm not going to use a school name. What if I go to the Blue University?
Sure. Yeah.
And then Red University saying, I have a car dealership. You making $100,000 a year, Blue University. I have a car dealership willing to pay you $200,000 a year. Then you transfer to that school, and you already can transfer now without sitting out. So with that being said, like, it's just a lot of, once again, I'm back to it again. There's a lot of fine print that I want to read, because I got questions. But I want to know, is it cap?
I did a radio interview yesterday, and somebody asked me about that. And I said the same thing you did as far as the fine print. I said, you know what? It came out in the big headline on social media. Hey, guess what? Student athletes can make money. And I'm like, yeah, that's cute. Let me keep reading. And sure enough, there's a lot of that red tape, obviously.